Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel Why Arise. Thank you for joining me today once again. If you're new to the channel, welcome, and for all the old subscribers, thank you for giving me audience once again today. I just first of all, let me say that this channel I talk mainly about hair and products that's really good for natural hair, and also I talk about Jesus Christ. That's something that I recently started doing, and I feel that it is important that everybody, or if you're searching, if you're having any kind of if you've come to a point where you feel like you're searching for a higher meaning to life and spirituality, I think I believe that Christ Jesus is there for everybody. So give your life to Jesus, give your life to God, and I encourage you to do that. Okay, Jesus is a loving God. He has done so much for us from the beginning, even up until today, for me personally. And so I encourage everybody out there, if you're searching for a higher spiritual meaning to life, even if you're searching for something to believe in, I encourage you to seek Jesus and to believe in Jesus, the Son of God. Okay, with that being said, I will start the video. As you can see, this is my hair, and I don't want to undo the thread that's in it, but my last video that I made, I had taken out my old braids, and I discussed whether if I was going to put my hair in thread again, or if I was going to straighten it. And I had mentioned that I was going to give you guys the follow-up as to what I would do. I didn't. I apologize if anybody was waiting for that video hair update. It's been, life. So this is where we are at right now. I put in threading when I took out the old braids from my last video, and this is the thread that I always talk about. I don't know if you guys can see it. This one here, that's the thread. It's made specifically for braiding, but I think you can use like even the knitting thread if anybody's interested in threading their hair. Threading, what it does is it helps stretches the hair. So when you're not able to comb your hair because it's so thick, like in my case, I find threading helps quite a bit because it stretches out the hair, and it gives it a more looser texture with threading. So, and it stretches your hair quite well. So that's why I like threading. But it does have some downside if you're doing it yourself, especially because back in my country, people normally, you go to the hairdresser, or even any, like your siblings or whatever, they can do it for you. And so when they're patting, it's a lot more precise, and you're not grabbing hair that's not supposed to be on your sectioned hair, so then you don't get short pieces. So what ends up happening with me, because I'm doing it by myself, is that I get short pieces, right? Because my pattern of the line is not that good. But anyways, so yeah, I did threading, and when I took it out, I washed my hair. I washed it and conditioned, deep condition. Washing is another story, okay? I know there's a lot of videos out there that when they wash their, and everybody's hair texture, I have to say, is different, and your hair will react with water differently. There's lots of videos out there about high porosity and also low porosity hair. See which one you're at. My hair, when water touches my hair, I have more of a looser curls. So my hair type is probably, and I haven't done the test, so this is a guess, but I'm gonna guess that it's probably 4A, between 4A and 4B. Some parts are more finer, as in straighter, and some parts are more, so it's not all one type, okay? Like the front I find tends to be a lot straighter than the back. The back is more there's a bit of my hair does it's not coils, it's more of wave, but here is more wavier the front, and depending the midsection a little bit wavier, and the back is a little bit more tighter curls. So when water touches my hair, especially at the front where it has a more of a looser, wavier texture, the bond that like the tangle that goes on at the front is unbelievable. Okay, it really sticks with one another when water touches my hair. And so detangling is another thing. A very good friend of mine, she recommended what do you call a hot what do you call that one? Hot comb brush. No, it's not a comb. It's a straightening brush. That's what it is. A straightening brush. And I used it. So once I did, I washed my hair, I detangled, that whole process. I used the and then dry and use the hot comb brush to try and straighten the hair, because I was trying to get my hair straightened. I don't think I've ever had my hair straightened on this channel before. And I tried to do it myself. So I dried the hair, and I used the hot comb brush to try and get it to be straight. So what I ended up with was and after I used the straightening brush, I also went over the hair with a hot hot iron brush, like the traditional straightening flat iron. I used that after I used the straightening brush and I used the straightening flat iron, I think that's what we call it. I used that after I used the straightening brush because it was still puffy, and it was still puffy after all that being said and done. My hair was still, I was able to run a comb through it very nice, but because of the thickness, very thick hair, because of the thickness, it looked more like this instead of this. I didn't get the bone straight down, and so this is what it looks like. Okay, I'm just going to undo the front. And this is another thing with undoing threads. You have to be careful with the ends, otherwise you break your ends all the time. So I'm just gonna be very gentle and careful with it. I don't have my scissors with me. Normally when you cut, like let's say here, the end just comes off very easily, but separate the thread from your hair and it comes off very easily. I don't have my I don't have scissors here with me, and I don't feel like getting up, so I'm just gonna take my time and undo this. I don't want to rip it. Oh man. Okay, so just a little piece that's stuck. I'm just gonna get scissors and cut it off, okay, because I don't want to rip my ends. 1 second. Okay, so I got the thread out. Okay, and the end is free. The end is free. So I'm just going to undo the threading and show you guys what I mean. And then I'll tell you the reason why I'm braiding it, because I really recommend, like in the summertime, I normally just leave my hair. But I didn't want to leave it and then be threading, because if I was to leave it, I would do the threading, and I don't want to do the threading anymore because I see like the short pieces that I get from threading, because like I mentioned earlier, I do my packs and I'm not a professional hairdresser, so I end up grabbing hair that's supposed to be not with the pat or whatever, and I in turn get some short pieces when I'm undoing the hair. So this is how the hair looks like. Well, obviously I put the thread so you can see the lines from the thread, but when I was done with the hot iron and also the straightening brush, this is what I ended up with. This is what I ended up with, okay? So I couldn't get the bone straight, but you know, I could at least get a comb through this with no problem. When I left it on like this, and I mentioned in my previous video too how important that air is to my scalp. I really need oxygen. I need my scalp to breathe. When it's not breathing, it's just, it feels uncomfortable. And I don't really, you know, I can't really sleep that well with this because the poof, imagine this is just one section, okay? One small section. But imagine when it was all done, it looked like this. And sleeping was not comfortable because my scalp was not breathing and I was just hot. So what I decided to do was to braid it, since I don't want to you know, do the threading for now. I'm gonna give my hair a little break from threading, so I decided to braid. I didn't measure. I don't think I've ever measured, but this is the length on one side. I did a section here. I didn't have a tape with me, so it was just a guesstimate. I think it's about 25 centimeters on this section here when I measured, but here I haven't really used, it was a guesstimate of about 25 centimeters, okay? Here I haven't really done any proper measuring, I should say. So this is it. This is in section, and I had to do it like this to be able to sleep. I had to section it and put a thread around it to be able to sleep properly without, you know, the itching of the scalp because of the lack of oxygen and all of that going to my scalp. So I had to section it off, so that's why I have thread in here. So I'm gonna finish braiding. This is the back hair, the back. I'm gonna finish braiding, and I'm doing this myself. I went to the salon and I asked how much it would cost. This is just me, once again. I asked how much it would cost to braid it, and I heard 200, but I couldn't comprehend past the end because I heard 200 and my ear just was like, nah, 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 nah. My ear was like, nah, 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 200. Like, I'm going to buy the braids myself and I'm going to do it myself. It's not going to be professional, you know, professionally done or whatever. And so you're going to, if you look closely, but, you know, at least I save a bit of money, okay, for me. So that's that. For braiding, I'm using this one, Ors olive oil. It's really good. I've used this product before in the past, and I like the smoothness, how it makes the hair really smooth, and it sort of quenches the hair. Like it's like the hair is thirsty, it really quenches it with some moisture. So I like how it feels. So I'm using this one for moisture, and then I'll braid it as I'll take a section like this. I'll show you a section like this. Oh, so I'll take a section like this. I'll take a little bit of the olive moisturizer and I'll put it in. I'll put it on the hair. Just moisturize from root to tip. Gently comb and then braid. Okay, that's what I'm doing. The one that I would also recommend, this one is really good. Like I mentioned, I've used it in the past before and it was really good for my hair. It gives it that, you know, that moisture that it needs, and it also the fullness. Not that I need any I need any more fullness. But it really just makes the hair feels really hydrated all around. So I really like this. The bottle used to be bigger, and this is why I stopped buying it. The bottle used to be bigger, and then all of a sudden I went to the store one day and I saw it was slimmer, and I'm like, people are buying this a lot now. This was many years ago. I think they made the bottle smaller about maybe 4 years ago, and I stopped buying it for that reason. But I got another bottle because I remember how it used to make my hair feel really good, nice and full and thick, preventing breakages. Says that all of that here, okay, the benefits of using this, and I can actually attest that this is really good. The one that I order from Ghana, the one that I have to order to have it come in, I ran out of that. It's called Dark and Lovely Corrective Leave-In Moisturizer. It's really good. It has more of a water-based consistency as opposed to the oil feel moisturizer. And I used to add another Dark and Lovely, I think it says 5 or 6 oil infused. So I will mix those two together, the corrective leave-in conditioner and the one that has more of an oil base like this. It's also made by Dark and Lovely. I think you can find them on Amazon, but on like in stores here, I've never seen it in any store here, and I try to look for it. They just don't carry it all the way to North America here. But you can certainly order it from Amazon. Mix those two together, and it's really good for like hydrating your hair. And also if your hair needs more of a water-based moisturizer, I would really recommend that Dark and Lovely Corrective Leave-In Conditioner. It really does an amazing job for my hair, especially when it comes to detangling. And I think in my previous videos I showed you guys how I was mixing that with coconut oil. I will put it in my hair and just really detangle gently, and it was amazing. It worked really well, especially after washing the hair. It does really an amazing job in preventing a lot of breakage. Okay, for in my case, it prevents a lot of breakage because like I mentioned, my hair really does tangled when water touches it. It really just bunch up, I'm telling you. And since I didn't have that, I just went to buy this one. Okay, so I'm gonna finish braiding, and we'll let you guys know. I don't know if I'm gonna show the final. I don't think there's a need for that, but I'm gonna finish braiding this section, and then we'll call it a day. Thank you for joining me. Don't forget to love Jesus, give your life to Jesus, and invite him in your life. Thank you. Have a great day, evening, night, wherever you are. Bye-bye.